Welcome to another segment of Know Your Health, hosted by me, Singh, nurse practitioner of the place we're in today, Premier Mobile Health Service, right at the corner of Tree Line and Colonial. This is our new brick and mortar, and quite frankly, we're just excited that Lee Pitts is here, giving us the opportunity to shoot from our location. Again, I am the executive director. This is a 501c not-for-profit organization, and we're making healthcare accessible to all. Today's topic, we're going to discuss cardiovascular health and what it is. What is cardiovascular disease? Cardiovascular disease is a class of disease that involves heart and blood vessel. Cardiovascular disease includes coronary artery disease such as angina and myocardial infarction. Other cardiovascular disease include stroke, heart failure, hypertensive disease, rheumatic heart disease, carditis, aortic aneurysm, peripheral artery disease, thromboembolic disease, and venous thrombosis, to name a few. Cardiovascular disease in women, major problem. Did you know that according to the National Institute of Health, cardiovascular disease is the number one cause of death among women in all ethnic and racial groups? Quite alarming, isn't it? Even beat out breast cancer and other diseases. Although not curable, it is one of the most preventable causes of death in both women and men. Let's talk about some of the statistics today. Nearly 300,000 women died from heart disease in 2017. That is 1 in every 5 American. 1 in every 5 female deaths. Unbelievable. In every 16 women aged 20 and older have a risk of cardiovascular disease. Some risk factors of cardiovascular disease include high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high triglyceride levels, high LDL, that's the bad cholesterol, smoking, hereditary. Did you know that in the United States, 47% of us have at least one or more of these risk factors? Correct. Other conditions that places us at risk include overeating, obesity, poor nutritional intake, sedentary lifestyle, that's our usual couch potatoes, and metabolic syndrome. Some signs of heart disease include fatigue. You may hear the patient say, "Oh, doc, I usually walk at least a mile up the road, and today I can barely go a block without getting short of breath." Chest pain or tightness, neck pain, jaw pain, numbness or tingling down the left arm, nausea, vomiting, and in some women they show evidence of back pain. Other silent symptoms include swelling the ankle. A lot of times we'll see her patient come in and their ankles are swollen, their feet swollen, and the neck vein distension, and they'll say, "Oh, I've been like this a long time." And usually they already have history of a heart attack in the past with stent or bypass, and not knowing that they're in heart failure until they develop complication where they can't breathe, they're short of breath, and requiring diuresis. Cardiovascular disease is real, and we can reduce our risk and prevent us from getting into disease. We can start doing this by routine screening with our physician. Screen for high blood pressure routinely. As you know, uncontrolled high blood pressure leads to cardiovascular disease. Screen for diabetes, as also high blood sugar causes diabetes and leads to cardiovascular disease. Routinely screen for elevated cholesterol and triglycerides, as these also leads to heart disease. And of course, smoking cessation. Smoking does cause issue with vascular issues, lung disease, and subsequently lead to further cardiovascular disease. Taking charge of your health is important. Now that we know the signs, the symptoms, and risk of heart disease, did you know that in the U.S. nearly $400 billion is spent annually for this disease and for treatment and management? We can start by seeing our doctors annually and initiate a better health plan for our health. Changing your diet. According to the American Heart Association, exercise about 150 minutes a week will improve cardiovascular health, will promote longevity, reduce our sodium intake. As I said, a Mediterranean diet, stop smoking. There's now many literature outside there to give us resources to help us quit smoking. Reduce the amount of stressors in our life. There's research that shows that stress also causes cardiovascular disease. And if you have one of these diseases or more, and you're required to take medication, I advise that you take your medication as prescribed by your doctor, and don't just decide to stop taking the medication on your own. Reach out to your doctor whether you have developed a side effect or anything to make sure. Thank you for watching another episode of Know Your Health, brought to you by Lipitz Live, and today's sponsor is Nadine's Adult Family Care Home, telephone number 239-645-2686. They provide care within their home for your loved one who no longer can stay at home. I want to thank Lipitz and Lipitz Live for giving us another episode of Know Your Health, and see you next time for Know Your Health.
Lipitz Live is a Lipitz Enterprise production.
Hello everybody, this is Lee. I'm so glad that you watched that particular show, and if you enjoyed that show, we got other shows like that. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel, watch Lipitz Live on demand anytime, and also hit us up on all our social media platforms. Just type in Lipitz Live and there you go.